The first lesson? Long-distance communication without cell phones. Back when soldiers lived at the fort, orders were transmitted by buglers and drummers. Fort Gibson was an Army post from the 1820s through the 1890s. Each fall, reenactors bring it back to life by recreating a slice of its history. It lets children experience life in the 19th century in a way they just can't get from a book.
Today we're talking about the Mexican-American War. All right, anybody know when that happened? About when? When did it happen? No, happened in 1846 to 1848.
During those years, soldiers from Fort Gibson were transferred to the battlefields of Mexico. Citizen militias from Arkansas took their place and learned how to be proper soldiers. Infantry were taught to shoot a rifle.
Fire!
And the importance of marching in unison.
About. Face. Forward. March.
Fifth graders from OK discovered marching isn't as easy as putting one foot in front of the other.
Right, left, right, point those toes, left.
Students also discovered frontier medicine was a lot more primitive than a trip to their pediatrician. The transportation often came with hooves. People who committed crimes wound up in a cold cell or were sentenced to stand outside all day in stocks for up to 2 months at a time. If you needed a hook for your clothes, the blacksmith had to make it because there weren't any hardware stores. And dinner was likely to be a chicken taken from the flock on the fort's parade ground. Beds had ropes instead of box springs. Even washing clothes was a day-long chore.
And we use what's called a washboard
instead of a washing machine. We asked the kids if they'd like to give up today's creature comforts for a chance to live in 1846.
I think I could do it back then. I like the things here. It's settled. It may be small, but it's nice and peaceful looking.
Back then, because it would be different. Like, it'd be kind of fun to have a journey and to experience those kind of things.
I could totally live back then, but I would much rather live now.
Thanks to more than $1 million in grants from the Oklahoma Department of Transportation and the National Park Service, Fort Gibson will have a long future ahead of it. In a project that will take a couple more years to complete, each and every structure at the fort will undergo renovations to fix aging and broken timbers. For O&R, I'm Kathy Tatum.